It is the dawn of a new era at Celtic Football Club. Ryan McGinley, we're here to watch Ange Postecoglou's first ever game. And yes, it is only a friendly, but his first ever game as Celtic manager. I'm Ryan Fitzsimons, aka Ryan McGinley. I'm alongside you. We've been waiting all summer to see the change at Celtic, and finally we get a glimpse of it today. It's the excitement of a new era, Ryan. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm buzzing. I'm really excited. I've not been excited for a pre-season, as I said on Twitter, since 2016. I would say when Brendan Rodgers came in, something fresh, something new about this. I like the sort of freshness. I'm just buzzing for this to get started. To be honest, I know it's only a training exercise, but at the same time, it's Celtic, and you want to watch Celtic, so I'm quite buzzing.
It's weird because at one point, towards the end of the season, we'll just, I'd say at one point throughout the entirety of last season, we're just thinking to ourselves, you know what, I can't wait for the season to end. And now we're kind of sitting here this morning, and last night I was thinking, wow, I can't wait for Celtic to be back. And here they are today.
Yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. It feels like, in some ways, it feels like we've been away for a wee while, but in other ways, it has only been a couple of weeks when you think about it. It shows you how quickly our turnaround is in terms of new seasons, with obviously our pre-season and in the qualifiers. But it's good to have them back. It's good to have a new manager at the helm. It's good to have a manager at the helm. We didn't all have it last season, we did, but then we had John Kennedy, who was an interim. But it's good to see that this new era starts today. I'm really looking forward to it. It's a good quality side we're playing against, despite them being in League One. They've got a lot of names that we know about. Yep. So it should be interesting. It should be a good test for the boys, and it's a good chance for them to get into Ange Postecoglou's good books.
Look, if you're here in the chat, if you're here watching the stream, please feel free to get involved with pulling up comments and stuff as the game goes on. As we're just having a bit of fun, Ryan, really. We're just going to sit here, we're going to watch the game. Oh, on that note, our first super chat of the day is Luke Irvin with 199. Thank you very much, Luke. He's asked a question about Ajeti being captain. We'll come to that in a moment after I just go through the team and such for everybody who may be watching. But thank you very much, Luke, and we'll come to your question in a minute. But we're just going to have a bit of fun, Ryan. We're just going to sit and watch the game as we normally would in the house, have a wee bit of chat during it, look to see if there's any pointers towards the changes at Celtic, and just have a wee bit of fun. It's a friendly at the end of the day, for God's sake. It's not like... We're just a blather. We're not expecting the world in this game. Look, if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if we were to lose, but it's just a friendly. It's just a friendly.
Are you going to put a disclaimer to the comments? Because there's quite a few people asking if the game's actually going to be on.
Is the game going to be? I have not got the permission to actually show you the game of football on this stream. This is us, and that's the whole point of Watchalong, as it says.
Do you want me to get my PS5 controller out and point the screen to it so it looks like I'm playing FIFA instead?
I'll get mine out. We'll kid on. We're just playing each other. Oh, there's Celtic scored again.
I've seen that with some UFC streams on Twitch. There's a guy just constantly playing with his controller just so that he didn't get taken.
Wow, that's smart, isn't it? I never thought that was possible. We'll run through the team. I've got it here on screen for us, and we'll look at what Celtic are playing. Now, we have been told that the team will be kind of split into three different sections, or the game will be split into three different sections. There's going to be in 30-minute periods. There's going to be 60 minutes for the first group, I believe, and then 30 minutes for the next group. So the group that will be starting off the game and the team that will be starting off the game in positional order as well, may I add. Vasilis Barkas, Adam Montgomery, was it Murray again? Is it
Murray?
That's it. Stephen Welsh, Tony Ralston, Ismaila Soro, Kerr McInroy, Liam Shaw, Ewan Henderson, Moffat, and Albion Ajeti. Ewan Moffat, I think so. I don't want to get them wrong in case I'm
trying to remember all of them from Football Manager, because some of these guys have had Football Manager before.
So there's the team there. There is no Lee Griffiths involved in today's squad, Ryan. We'll try and stay clear of that for now. There's your team. First impressions of that, Ryan?
It's very young, isn't it?
Very young. We knew that we were going to be without the Scottish guys today, but it's a bit different when you actually see the team without the Scottish guys there.
It is a very first game of pre-season sort of team. There's a couple of familiar names in the second half team, or the 30-minute team like Edward and that, but it's good to see a debut for Liam Shaw. Good to see guys like Kerr McInroy and Ewan Moffat getting a chance in the team as well. And it's also great to see Ajeti as captain and Barkas playing. These are guys that we paid a good bit of money for, so I want to see them get a sort of redemption this season. That's what I would love. Nothing more to see these guys do well.
I'll tell you right now. Oh God, I can't sit like that because it takes off half my face. I tell you right now, if Barthcast makes any save today, I'll be jumping off my seat. So let's just get ready for that. A Yeti as captain was the question that Luke asked a moment ago with his super chat donation. Jordan Gray's in here saying illegal stream. Yes, just give it 5 minutes. We'll have the game up. But he was asking about Yeti being captain. I mean, yes, once again, I'll just say it's a friendly. I don't think we should read into it too much. But the fact he's been given that, when there is players in the squad like Stephen Welsh, who could very much take that armband, to see a Yeti go out there and take it, a wee bit of faith been put in him there.
No, Matthew Duff will be gutted he hasn't got the captain's armband today. It's a good vote of confidence for a Yeti. I said on Twitter that it's a massive confidence booster for him. It's good to see that the manager's got him in the forefront of his plans. And look, we paid 5.5 million for him or something like that. We're not really in a position to be having these guys sitting on the bench or not making much of an impact. So it's good that we're kind of giving him another chance to go in the team. And he looks really lean by the looks of it.
He does.
I think there's been a number of things. He'll obviously be quite disheartened about last season. He'll be disheartened about the fact that he hasn't got in the Switzerland team for the Euros because he wasn't fit and he had injuries as well, obviously. And he wanted to be proving people wrong, people that have been shooting him down. I mean, I have criticised him quite a bit because you expect a guy that's £5 million worth to come in and hit the ground running in Scotland. A guy that's done it at admittedly a higher level in Switzerland, I would say, at Basel. Mm-hmm. So it's good that we're giving him another chance. Yeah, it'd be great to see him get on the score sheet today.
On our screens just now, we have two of the boys who used to play for Sheffield Wednesday. We have Asasi Origide, we have Liam Shaw. What is it?
The turncoats.
The turncoats, aye. They'll be chatting. There they are taking the huddle. What's daily time? What an exciting moment.
Huddle with Scott Brown.
Yeah, that's it. It's a new sort of era, isn't it? There is Scott Brown.
Really, really skinny.
He does. He looks very lean. He looks as though he's lost a lot of weight. Is this going to be the new, not just the new era for Celtic, but the new era for Albion Yeti?
Yeah, I hope so because he's scored goals in everywhere that he's went. He's given a sort of starting place because he never really got a chance at West Ham. Look at this kick off there just now.
That's it. That's the game kicked off, ladies and gents. And for everybody in the chat asking, Christ, oh fucking hell, that was that's I thought we were going to score our own goal already. There's a lot of people asking in the chat, stream and this, that, next thing. This is not the Hez goal chat. This is the Rival 18 chat. Any questions or anything you want?
We see the Hez goal chat a couple of weeks ago. Had Brendan Rodgers, had Ange Postecoglou, had Peter Lawwell, Dermot Desmond.
You were flopping away, weren't you?
It was mental.
It was pretty crazy. But here we go, another donation. James, the mighty James, thank you very much, James. He's donated £3. He says, how quick is Captain Ayeti hitting 40 goals? Thank you, James, much appreciated, mate.
20 minutes today.
20 minutes today. I mean, 40 goal season for Albion Ayeti. Look, if Griffiths can do it, then anybody can do it, you know?
Yeah, well, he's not anywhere near the team today, so I'd rather not talk about him.
Griffiths, he's in the bad books, to say the least.
He definitely is. He's in the doghouse. The Griff Dog is in the doghouse.
Griff Dog, what a nickname, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing more of Liam Shaw. And I know Origide isn't on the park today, but I think Liam Shaw is somebody who, even when we announced back January, we'd signed him, was somebody who I looked at with a bit of interest.
Yeah, definitely. It was a bit weird because we didn't really know who was signing him because obviously we had Lennon on his way out and then it was sort of in that in-between stage, wasn't it? I mean, when was it we signed him? Was it February time? He was signed in a season of turmoil. I've mentioned it a couple of times. There was turmoil at Sheffield Wednesday with their situation and then turmoil at Celtic with their league position. So he's went from one disaster to the next, but I hope this one's a wee bit better for him than the last one.
So what are you looking at? Some in the chat, Alan's asking, what's the formation? Now, from when the team was announced, I just assumed we'd go 4-2-3-1 from the opening shape. But I think that it's hard to tell straight away because we've been on a bit of the back. It looks more of a 4-3-3 is what I was thinking.
He said that was his preferred position as well. So
aye. So I think it might be a bit more of a 4-3-3 than the original 4-2-3-1 I thought we were going to get. But we've been on the back foot first couple of minutes. But let's talk about Sheffield Wednesday for a sec. Sheffield Wednesday, they've got players in there we recognise. Of course, they've got Barry Barron's in there. Josh Windass. Yep, but they've got players that can do damage. And
Aye.
and talking about doing damage, there you go.
Josh Windass.
And it's Josh Windass as well. I'm going to have a right laugh with that as well. Celtic nil, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Josh Windass. Nah, that's not what you wanted to see.
Barry Bannon as well. He's quite a local boy to me. He's known to frequent the Coatbridge area quite a bit. So
frequent.
Yeah, got the new vocabulary going. You know what I mean?
Well, there's a score update on the screen. Ange out.
What's Eddie Howe doing? He's still not got a job yet.
Get Eddie Howe in 1-0 down.
By the way, disclaimer: that is a joke. This is a
yes. I'm not expecting anything serious.
Even Welsh put out on loan by the end of this game, I'll be very unhappy.
By the end of the game, oh Christ!
No, I'm only joking. God, these could get clapped, couldn't they?
Oh God, there's gonna be a clip with the Kerry deal of me going Ange out.
Joe Black is filming me outside my bedroom waiting.
I 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Josh Windass with a goal there, Ryan. Sloppy defending, but we're used to that with Celtic.
To be fair, was it Josh Windass that got an early goal against Rangers?
Well, that's right. We beat them 3-2.
Yep, 10 men. Hodgson Edward.
So what you're saying is we're going to get.
Yep, that's the second coming. That's all I'm saying.
So what you're saying is we're going to get a man sent off for a friendly here.
Ayeti's that sort of mad, isn't he? He's mad.
The Albanian roots. Tam 1872 in the chat saying this could be a doing, as if the friendly game.
They'll try hard because they've got a lot of players playing.
I know. I was surprised when I looked at their team. They've got a trialist in there, I believe. I think they've got a trialist.
Have they got European qualifiers in July or something?
I'm looking for. Look, I'm not going to look too deeply into it. I said this before the game kicked off. I'm not just saying it because we're 1-0 down now. But before the game kicked off, look, of course we want to see some positive signs from this game and that. But at the end of the day, you're playing half your youth team and it's a pre-season friendly, the first one under a new manager. I'm certainly not expecting the world here.
No, my expectations have lowered a wee bit than they did 5 minutes ago. Than they were 5 minutes ago. But we'll just go wait and see what happens. I mean, we've not had a lot of the ball, have we?
No, we have not. We've barely touched it. Liam Palmer, he's on the park as well, isn't he, for Sheffield?
We've got Massimo Luongo, who what do you call it? Ange managed for the Australian national team.
All right.
Nice. I used to keep up with him. Australian national team quite a bit. I don't know. I was waiting to see if Tom Rogic would come good and all that, but I recognise a couple of the names that were kicking about then. You still see them popping up every now and then.
My knowledge stretches as far as Tim Cahill, I would say.
Tim Cahill, Tom Rogic, Harry Kewell.
The main name's Harry Kewell,
Was he from New Zealand? No, he was from
Australia. Harry Kewell was Australian, he was Australian. Stephen Welsh have had an orthodox clearance there, to say the least. Yep. That's Welsh for you, isn't
it? He's not outstanding, is he?
Nah, I like Welsh and I want him to develop. I want him to do well at Celtic. But there is, the best thing about, and it was very well put in a tweet yesterday. I think it was, maybe Kieran that tweeted it yesterday. Somebody tweeted it yesterday saying, the best thing about Stephen Welsh last season was that he wasn't Shane Duffy, and quite frankly,
he was in the team.
Quite frankly, that was the case. You were more excited about him. Are they playing cricket at the pitch next to them? They are. Look, they're playing cricket.
That's just so tin pot. It's like a Boris Johnson wet dream, man. Cricket.
There's a game of cricket going on in there. Jesus Christ.
But there's Sorrow clapping somebody, and then not winning the ball. Oh, there we go. The kit looks lovely, doesn't it?
Yeah, I do like it. I like the away kit. It's nice. When it was first announced, I was dead after. I thought it was quite basic, quite boring, and I thought it was just a cop out, really. But when I see it fully on and the players actually wearing it, is that Liam Shaw who's like playing up front now?
I think so.
Very high.
Number 30 because the last number 30 was Jeremy Frimpong, I'm sure.
He's big, I tell you that for nothing, Liam Shaw. He's big, he's tall, he's got a lot of height there.
Him into midfielder, I don't know.
Well, do you think this is me and Paul were, well, I was on Celtic Fans TV yesterday, and we were talking about what Celtic need to improve on and all the rest of it, Ryan, and Liam Shaw, we were talking about as a centre half. He has been known to be played as a centre mid before as well. Where do you think will be his best position for Celtic this season? Do you think he'll be used mostly as a centre half? I mean, he's playing very high in this game from what I've seen so far.
Depends on what recruitment we do or lack of recruitment. One signing so far in this transfer window, apart from maybe Joey Johnson for the Colts. I know we've been linked the past couple of days with some players, but I don't really know. I need to suss him out. He's playing very high. I hope he's not a centre half if he's playing that high, because that'd be mental. It looks as if he's a midfielder. At least I got that from the team sheet. Maybe he's a centre mid, sort of holding midfielder.
Well, I think he played there a few times for Sheffield Wednesday last season. I think that was he got 2 red cards, I think, and I think that one of them may have been. Oh God, I've went and broke my bloody stream. I think one of them might have been when he was playing in centre midfield. So he probably has the capability to play both pretty well, pretty solidly. So, aye.
I mean, we've had Beaton play there for the past 3-4 years, haven't we? So
it's nothing new, is it? Nothing new.
No.
We're used to that sort of situation. Look up there, he is.
The wrong pieces in the jigsaw. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Just find players for their position. It's not difficult. Every other team seems to do it.
Talking about signings and signing people for positions, let's talk about Gogs. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Thanks, Gogs. Nice to see that Windass with a goal. I don't even want to look at Twitter because you know what they'll all be saying about Windass being the one that's scoring the goal. It just reminds me of Tom Miller's commentary. Windass!
Didn't win any titles of Rangers, did he?
No, I don't think so.
I think he get punched out if him.
Yeah, you sound like a sour da.
I'm 23, turning 24 in September.
You're allowed.
I'm shaving the hair off. I'm gonna have irrational dislikes for certain players. In fact, my dad would already say I already have that for certain players. So, I mean, we'll see.
I would say you have that for certain players.
You don't know about some of the players that I've been quite quiet towards them because some of them were injured for most of the season. My biggest one was the guy that was injured for most of the season this season.
We Jamesy?
Aye.
I think you've told me before. That you're a big fan of Jamesy.
But we sorely missed him last season.
We did. But let's talk about Fabrizio Romano yesterday. He was getting in on the Celtic talk, wasn't he? And we've been linked with Mr. Carlfelt, is it? Carl Starfelt, is that his name? He's getting linked to the club centre half from Ruben Kazan, Swedish international. Are you happy with that link, Ryan?
Yeah, it's a good quality. He's obviously played internationally for Sweden a couple of times as well. It seems that he had a bit of a breakout season last season after a maybe hit and miss one the season before. He got a new deal a couple of months ago, or in May rather.
Right.
Well, that was a couple of months ago now. That's crazy how time flies, eh? But he got a 2-year extension. But I read also that Kazan need to sell some foreign players in order to fulfil the criteria. Their manager is that Leonid Slutsky that used to be the Russian manager.
Aye.
But,
was he not in charge? Was he not in charge at the last World Cup, Slutsky?
I think they had the bald chap last, but I think he was.
Oh, was it?
Maybe he was at Euro 2016.
2016. I know he was quite recent, Slutsky, wasn't he? He was quite recent.
I mean, he was. Who was he manager of? Who was he? Was he Watford manager for a wee bit?
He might have been.
Down south at one point.
Might have been. Potentially.
It was very brief, I know that.
But he looks as though he's a solid enough player. From what I've seen so far, he's maybe not as strong in the air as other players, but with the ball at his feet sort of thing, he's quite good. His tackling's good and stuff like that. So it seems like he could be a good player to come in and accompany the likes of Vuskovic if Celtic managed to bring in 2 centre-halves.
That seems too good to be true, doesn't it? If we were to bring 2 centre-halves in to replace sort of Ayer with his transfer fee. I just want, see if Ayer wants to go, then we need to get a good fee for him. If we can meet in the middle with a decent fee and we can let him go so that we can get this rebuild for defensive reinforcements, then I'm all for it, to be honest.
Still 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday here. We've got over 700 viewers right now in the stream. So thanks very much, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching. And I remind you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, if you're new to the channel for more daily free content. I'm off to Liverpool tomorrow, Ryan. I keep forgetting that. So I might just, do you know what I might just do? I might drop off all my equipment at yours and put you in charge of the channel.
Imagine that.
You sitting there trying to edit a video.
Supposed to be a journalist, can't even edit a video. I mean, you seen my TikTok that I made that I couldn't even crop the picture.
I know, it would be better if it was a wee bit cropped, you know. Oh. Celtic going forward with the ball here now, though. It's I can't even tell who is who, to be honest, but without the names in the back of the shirts and players I've seen for the first time. Was it Henderson?
Henderson.
We've really not got into the game yet, right? And by all accounts, we've not really touched it. Sheffield Wednesday have dominated the majority of the ball. I think you can see the experience of players like Bannon and Windass and that maybe getting the better of the younger guys, and they've just looked a bit more comfortable. Celtic now need to use this kind of breaking the ball here on the set piece to try and get themselves into the game.
Yep, definitely. We need to use set pieces better this season for sure. It'd be nice to see a Yeti get on the end of this, or even Liam Shaw. I mean, the size of him, he should be sticking his head on some stuff.
Delivery, it's failed, but it is blocked by, I believe, big Callum Patterson.
You're a couple of seconds ahead of me, so.
Oh, am I going to spoil the whole game for you?
It's a pre-season game. My dad always tells me to turn my phone off during the games because there's about a minute delay, and he knows that if we've scored, I'll make a reaction of some sort. Or if I don't speak, then nothing's happened. So he's trying to gauge my reactions with stuff. So I have to sit with my phone away. That 15 minutes at half time, I can tweet whatever I want. You know what I mean? But I still watch it with my dad. So that's good play. And
who is that? Is that a
Moffat?
Or Moffat or something? I don't know. Can it honestly? I feel terrible for not knowing what. It's like you need like Lewis Laird to come in and guide you through this situation where there's guys that you've never seen before. We're currently 15 minutes in, just about to hit the 15-minute mark here at the Dragon Training Centre. Is it called? Something like that. Dragon Park. I think it's Dragon Park.
There's a big blue dragon, so Billy Gilmore's Maw would get a picture next to it.
That's some laugh in it. Like people actually getting offended over touching the green part of the scarf.
I think it's disgraceful, person.
You're wanting the.
I was on Kerry Hill Meltdown last night, so.
You made it. Well done. We've got CJ in the chat. Windass, one of the greats. I'm not a fan of CJ using the one of the greats stuff, you know.
Really, one of the greats.
Truly, Josh Windass, truly one of the greats.
Maybe Windass is passing the torch from one banter year to the next. Or the
maybe. Well, he is. Well, he's one of the key figures in the Rangers banter years. So maybe this is the passing the torch out to Ange Postecoglou for our banter years extraordinaire.
Yeah, I feel like we should put another disclaimer. I'm joking. Like, it's all part of here.
It's all part.
That was
Celtic.
Sorry.
What you said there? Sorry.
That Luongo that Ange Postecoglou used to manage, he was at QPR.
Right, okay. Was that him there? Sheffield United. Do you know what one thing I've noticed about Sheffield United team looking at them now?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Sorry. I'm just sitting here thinking of George Baldock. But I'm looking at Sheffield Wednesday. They're really physical just now. They're big. A lot of the players are quite big as well, but they're getting right in amongst it right now. They're getting into the ball or tackling. They're putting the pressure right on them. Look at that. That's a friendly. You calm down, you. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Number 2 in particular for them, he's absolutely massive.
But just as I was before he went in and took the legs away, just there, they're being really physical with the game today. They're not letting up. They're acting as if it's a proper competitive game today.
Big Darren Moore's not happy with those two boys joining Celtic. So this is his revenge. Is
that who's in charge of Sheffield Wednesday just now?
Yeah, he got relegated with them last season, but I know he came in a couple of months into the season, so he didn't really have that much not as much blame, maybe. A penalty?
No, I don't think so. I think there's a claim for a penalty there from Liam Shaw, but
Rangers it won't be a penalty.
Aye, of course. You're trying your hardest.
I'm giving some of the maybe other team viewers some of the content that they'd be wanting. You know what I mean?
Aye, true. Corner for Celtic now, coming up for the 18th minute. It's got to be Ewan Henderson who stands over at Henderson to deliver. Can we get something from it? It's going right for Liam Shaw, who just can't get to the bounce of the ball. That's a foul referee. Jesus Christ, they're going for it Sheffield Wednesday, aren't they?
I know.
Dirty bastards.
I know. Liam Shaw, not saying he plays anything like him, but he looks a wee bit like Benkovic, the wee stature is.
No, I'm like, see when he like turned his head around and he had the skin fade and just the body shape and the height and that. I was like, bloody hell, Benkovic is back for Celtic. It's the first thing I thought as well, I must admit.
Yeah. I see a lot of comments. I see some comments saying, "Oh, we've made the wrong decision on the manager and stuff." Like it's our first pre-season friendly.
That's a friendly. That's a good delivery.
We've done well in February with pre-season, and we know how that turned out.
Yep, and also just a reminder that with Brendan Rodgers, we actually lost our first competitive game to Lincoln Redhams. I don't think that these early games are so much of an indicator as to what you get, and it's a fucking friendly with a youth team out for crying out loud. Jesus Christ!
It's all about getting used to the formation. If both teams are playing the same formation, that's good. Then it means that we're sort of hammering them.
Matching them up.
Yeah, we're sort of hammering them the way that we're going to play under Ange Postecoglou. So. We have played a wee bit better in the last 5 minutes, though. I will say we've had a wee bit more of the ball.
I was talking to David. Oh, that's not bad. Unlucky. I was talking to David yesterday about Kerr McInroy, who was at Dunfermline, and I'll be honest. If David was brutally honest, and I'll be honest about what he's saying. Apparently, Kerr McInroy was hopeless for Dunfermline last season. He was not a fan. Which has gave me a keen eye in going into watching them today. I mean, if you're not great at Dunfermline, what are your chances in being great for Celtic? You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not going to say that I want the player to fail or anything. Maybe he just needs a little bit more time, maybe another loan move or something. But certainly a lot of work to do if he wasn't cutting it and he wasn't doing the job for Dunfermline last year, a team at the top of the Scottish Championship.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm quite surprised at that because he had a couple of good showings in pre-season.
That's right.
Last year, I remember
when he went to Dunfermline, I said to David, "That'll be really good for you. That'll be a really good signing."
I thought that would have been a good move for Dunfermline. But I mean, even Stephen Welsh, the last loan move he had, apparently he was quite mixed at Morton as well. So it's all about the fit. It's all about what sort of manager you're playing under, and sometimes it just takes a wee bit longer to get the perfect fit in terms of a move or a first team rather. So it'll be interesting to see what he does with his opportunity today. I think Ange's just trying to gauge who's good enough for the team and who isn't in a sort of test format, and then we'll see maybe a stronger 11 come probably like the West Ham game or the Charlton game. This game is basically just a training exercise, isn't it?
Yep, exactly. It is. Like there's you talk about having a football game. Of course, it's more of a warm up session than anything. Of course, it's still a game of football. It's still playing, still want to win the game and such. But this is the first time these boys have been back there. A lot of these guys have played together. In fact, let's be honest. Liam Shaw just new into the camp. These youth guys have been out on loan. Yeti, we better leadership up there from the Yeti there, telling players what to do. It's got to be, a game that we just take a pinch of salt with. There's my camera away. I'll let you go and say what you need to.
Aye, it's been a bit non-event with our attacking style just now, or attacking chances. But hopefully we can just bed into the game a wee bit. Maybe the break will come at a good time. And then we can go and maybe get a goal or something. But this 90-minute stuff, talking for 90 minutes, this is difficult, by the way, trying to get stuff to talk about. You're just waiting for like a flashpoint to happen.
Do you know what's mad though, right? I've done these watch-alongs myself before. There's people in the chat, I see a couple of people like, oh, give us some commentary, and I'm like, yeah, but that's strictly not what this is. It's a watch-along. The whole point is people are meant to be watching the game, have us on the back, well, at the radio, you know what I mean? The radio, just sit and have a wee chat during the game, talk about other footballing issues, blah, blah, blah. I've done these myself a couple of times, and see when you're doing it yourself, I don't know how I managed to, I just love the sound of my own voice. You know, I just sit and talk away for 90 minutes.
I didn't know that, right?
You didn't know that, no. I don't appreciate I don't appreciate that sarcasm, McGinley.
I'll get banned for Nando's later, or we won't even go.
You know, I'll be messaging that. You can fuck off. Ball in for Sheffield Wednesday over the face of the goal there. Barkas watches it go wide. But you do them and they can be difficult, man. It can really be difficult going for 90 minutes and just talking away. But you just find ways to fill the gaps. Like conversation just kind of naturally comes in. You find talking points and I mean, there's going to be a lot to talk about in terms of Celtic behind the scenes just now and what we still need. And I don't think this game will be a big indication as towards that because, once again, it's a friendly, it's a first game. But there's players that we need to talk about, Aaron Hickey and such. We'll come on to that as we move on. Celtic moving forward. Now a shot on goal. And it just hits the side netting, but takes a touch and it's a corner kick, McGinley.
Oh, I'm feeling it. We're going to get back into this game. You know what I mean? But you know, I'm quite relaxed about this game. I'll be perfectly honest. It's Celtic. I know it's Celtic, but at the same time, it's a pre-season game. I used to get so worked up about not winning pre-season games. I don't even know why I bothered because they mean nothing. I mean, it's all academical, really, isn't it? It's just
we've got to get minutes in the legs of the players. Pretty much what they're here for, isn't it? You know. The intensity, the style, everything changes anyway when it comes to that first competitive game, you know, because both teams suddenly start to play a little bit different, don't they? It's a matter of actually playing a real game of football rather than friendly. That's a decent delivery, by the way, into the hands of the Sheffield Wednesday keeper.
I can tell by the way you say that whether we're going to score or not.
Can you? Like, I feel bad. That's what I tried to do was I tried to stop my stream for 3 seconds to let us get to that equal point. But when I stopped it done that thing where it's like, oh, your stream is off and I had to refresh it. You know what I mean? I'll try. Oh wait, it's working now. Right. I'm gonna go here. Right. Oh, for fuck's sake. It looked as though it was working and then it went providing stream is now off.
I'm not gonna touch my screen because it's or stream rather because it's not moved once since I put it on. It's a really good game.
There seems to be an upgrade with the Past the Paradise service so far, but then again, how many people are tuning in at 3 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon to watch a friendly against Sheffield Wednesday?
I know I didn't get to watch the previous ones because I was full-time working this time last year, so I had to keep up with updates on my phone with the Hibs games, Hibs and Ross County we had.
Yes,
right. And that was sort of annoying. I used to go to the toilet every couple of minutes to check that somebody must have thought I had a problem or something, but I couldn't really look at my phone all the time. So I was like, what's the score? But, it's good to watch it. It's good to chill and watch the game. It's weird to see the cricket on in the background as well. The
cricket is a bizarre one. I love it. There seems to be a bit of a civil war between the Celtic fans and the Rangers fans have decided to come and watch the stream today. Oh, look, I'm welcoming to everybody. The numbers mean the most to me, however many people are here. And the interaction in the chat is completely up to themselves. But if you've got any questions, please feel free to fire them in for me and McGinley and we'll get to them. Aaron Hickey, right? Are you disappointed that seems to have kind of fallen apart?
Yeah, I was talking about it over the past couple of days. I'm disappointed. I thought he would walk into the first team, I'll be perfectly honest. But at the same time, it's 6 million. I don't know if we can really spend that sort of money on it.
When you think about it, closer to 7 million. Closer to 7.
That's a fee that maybe Fiorentina or Roma can spend on a player. But I don't think we're in that position at all. We need to spend that on the only sort of outlay we would do or we would pay for that on a player would be a sort of striker like Edward or something.
Exactly.
But I mean, even with remember when we had Kieran Tierney, we couldn't really afford to have a left back that was worth 25 million in the team, especially in Scotland. It just doesn't make sense. You've got to cash in, regardless of how good the player is.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that in the studio the other day when the news sort of, while we were recording TSF, that was when it kind of came out that Celtic's bid for him would kind of fall apart because of the price tag. And we said that it's like £6.5 million, close to £7 million is just not feasible for Celtic, no matter the quality of left back. That is a substantial part of the budget away on an area that, yeah, it does need improvement, but not an area you can afford to put £6.5 million into. That is, as you were talking about, a striker who gets you goals that guarantees a return on that money in the future. Especially with a guy that's had a couple of injuries as well over the past year, when we need someone solid
in left back that will sort of take that role as their own. I know we've got Greg Taylor, but I would hope we'd be pushing for better than Greg Taylor, to be perfectly honest. I'm just got to be honest. I think he's an SPFL standard player, but that's it. I think we should be aiming for higher.
Talk about higher. Ewan Henderson with a shot outside the area there, just over the. I say just over the bar. It was quite a bit over the bar. It rose all the way, but still Celtic. They'll Sheffield Wednesday won. But the last sort of 5 to 10 minutes, Ryan, Celtic seem to be a lot more comfortable on the ball than what they did for the opening passage of the game. Seems like we're getting into a bit more, and we've seen a lot more of the ball.
Yeah, I feel like the tempo slowed down a wee bit. Both teams have kind of worked their way into the game. Sheffield Wednesday aren't as hyper as what they were in the first 3 minutes when they went and scored. But it's a lot more even than what it was. The first 5 minutes were a bit of a disaster, but it's good to see that it's more end-to-end now than it was.
End-to-end football, that's what you're wanting. At least, in terms of end-to-end football, Ryan, what about that game last night between Italy and Spain? One of the best games of football that I've watched and on the television for a long, long time. Of course, I've been to better games and such, and I've seen better games, of course, but in terms of watching it on the television, the game just was brilliant last night. It was brilliant tempo, consistent forward passing. There was no real boring passages in the game. It was just really a spectacle all round. And then, of course, the penalties drama always kind of takes over.
I've got to be honest, see that Chiesa that plays for them? I think he's fallen in love with football all over again. He's just my sort of player. He works so hard for the team, and he's got some finish on him as well. That finish was just beautiful. And then that penalty from Jorginho was incredible as well. And the celebration, he's ice cold in front of the penalty, in front of a goalkeeper in the penalty spot. He does it for Chelsea, gets enough practice. But I mean, you saw when Morata was coming up to take that penalty, I was like, you're missing. And
I think the universal opinion when he stepped up to take that penalty was, you're missing. It's a shame that is the kind of position that Morata's found himself in now. But his performance is.
It's a bit of a weird one because he's usually the best against Italian opponents. His best form of his career has been at Juventus.
That's right.
I mean, to be fair, he did score not an extra time, around about the 80th minute to get them in the extra time. But he never looks confident when he goes up for a penalty, does he?
No, he does not. He doesn't look confident at all, really, whatsoever in terms of his general game. We're coming up to the last passage of play, the last bit of the first passage of play. Yep, and there it is. There's the whistle. First half an hour done, Ryan. They're playing in 3 half-hour periods. It's basically 3 halves of football. Celtic down 1-0 at the end of the first third. From the opening third of football, as we said a moment ago, it's really been about finding the footing. And there's not been. They're actually gone right into the changing rooms and everything. I thought they would generally just be making a few changes in the side of the park. It's not been great from a Celtic point of view, but then again, what do you expect from a friendly?
It's a friendly at the end of the day. It's like those ones that I seem to remember Ronnie Dyler's friendlies were like this as well. They were really slow, trying to get into the new formation, the new style of play. We were playing German teams that I'd never even heard about before, German and Austrian teams. So at least we're playing against a team that I've heard about before. But first half an hour, it's weird to see the game stopped after half an hour. You usually see that maybe for like cooling breaks in the Euros and hot temperatures. But
it's a proper stoppage because people are out training in the park and everything. And they're showing the interviews and such again. Like when they said like it was going to be played in 3.5 hours, in my head I had pictured that a water break, like the Euros. That's what I had pictured in my head.
Especially since the same players are going to be playing. I mean, for the next wee period, I don't know. Did they stop after 45 minutes then?
No, they stop after an hour. I think they stop after an hour. Genuinely, it's getting played like 3/3.
That is pure rugby, isn't it? This is the Dom Mackay influence, man.
This is it. Dom's came in and he says, listen, I think the first thing we have to change is the structure of the game.
So we've got the structure of the game that's changing. We've got an Australian manager managing a Scottish team. What other parallels? A guy that used to work in Murrayfield. Next will be relocating at Murrayfield.
Next will
Celtic capital or something like that.
Next will be changing the style of the shorts to the wee skin tight ones that the rugby players wear. You know what I mean? I'll tell you one thing about one difference I noticed when I went to play at when I went to play, when I went to watch Celtic at Murrayfield. Mind when we played Hearts in the Cup semi-final a few years ago. It was at Murrayfield. The difference I noticed straight away when I walked through the door at Murrayfield, it wasn't pies or chips that were offered to me at first. It was a macaroni cheese stand. I was like, you don't get a macaroni cheese stand at the football. That does not happen. You can tell you were at a rugby ground when I seen that straight away.
Yep. We were having, well, there was a lassie behind us that snuck in a Jack Daniels and Coke, so we were all having a bit of that at half time.
But just the one Jack Daniels and Coke, were all sharing it.
She had one of the big trench coats. She was trench coats. So it was like, I feel worried when she was doing that, but it was Jack Daniels.
Oh Jesus, Jack Coke. So was it like
we told you there was going to be entertainment here. There's going to be plenty more.
That's a good thing about friendlies. We can have a laugh and just talk about some nonsense. But so did the lassie have like a 2-litre bottle of Coke in her trench coat?
She had like plastic cups and everything. She had her weighing with her and everything. I was like, I hope you're not driving home. I hope you'll be on the train for 2 reasons, so that your weighing gets home all right and you're and
you're driving safely.
You're not driving. I know. Worried, man. But no, that was a great day. Remember that? That was the day that was the day that Ibui Kouassi tried to run off a cruciate.
That's right. That was the day that Ryan Christie arrived. Really, wasn't it? That was when we started to see the Ryan Christie that we now miss. Talking about Christie, let's go and talk about Christie for a minute. Since we're here, we're just bringing up all the different issues. And it's basically like a podcast with the football on in the background, isn't it? I like that. It's cool. Ryan Christie, 6 months left in his contract. We have heard a couple of murmurs of teams that are interested. By the way, fair play. I don't know if he's just waiting for me to pull a comment up on stream, but he's been going all day so far, Professor Snape. Snape's loving it. It's fucking, what's his name? Snape. He looks like that.
Alan Rickman from the grave.
No, he looks. Is it John Oliver? Is that his name?
What, the GB News guy?
Aye, the one that used to do all the documentaries. The one that Neil Oliver. That's it, Neil Oliver. The one that used to do the.
Welcome to Scotland.
Welcome to Scotland. Aye. He looks like him, but he's been getting it all day about Ange'S. Fucking, Neil Lennon would do better. My gran would do better.
Snape's gran, is that in the Harry Potter books?
Fuck knows. But Christie, we've heard a couple of murmurs that teams may be interested. One of them being Monaco. We had a couple that were interested. From down south. Yep. But there hasn't been really anything concrete yet. So we're talking 6 months until that contract expires, Ryan. Do you imagine that he'll move on from Celtic over the next few weeks, or do you think we've just landed ourselves in and keeping our awkward scenario?
It's a bit of a weird one. I mean, who guessed that to end his contract in January? Like, imagine if he was our top player. I know he had a bad season, but imagine he was our main player with loads of goals under his belt, playing every week, and then his contract finishes in January. I mean, that's a disaster in itself. That would have been another disaster to go on the many disasters that have been the past season or so. But I think if any bit of money, like maybe like a 5 or 6 million comes in, you've got to take it and move him on, because he doesn't look like he's going to extend his contract. It looks as if he wants to go, and I don't think he'd be that much of a miss anyway. I mean, I've said about 4 times there. I mean, it's different. But aye, if he wants to go, then go.
Do you like the comment on screen for James? £2 donation.
That is absolutely awful.
£2
has a bigger legacy. I'll have you know, he was incredible in those movies.
Is he dead?
Aye, he died about 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, did he? I can't remember, to tell you the truth. But there you go. Thank you, James, once again for the £2 donation. I really do appreciate it. It looks as though the second period of the game is about to commence. I believe that we still should be, and I'll get the graphic on screen, this should still be the team for the second period of the game, and then there will be changes made in the final and third period of the game. Yes, you're not hearing things wrong. I'm not making it up. Celtic are playing a game of football which has been split into 3 thirds rather than 2 halves. So That I know is weird. So there's the 11 that played the first, third, Barkas, Montgomery, Murray, Welsh, Ralston, Sorrow, McEnroy, Shaw, Henderson, Moffat, and the captain Ayeti. And it should be, unless we are surprised with a change, the team that plays in this second period. Now, the Sheffield United Wednesday players are out, but we yet to see Celtic. Do you think Ange's giving them a bollocking out there?
I don't think he'll be giving them a bollocking. I think he'll just be saying, look, this is a pre-season game. Obviously, try harder, try and get back in the game.
Go out there and have fun.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. But I just go and express yourself, go and try your hardest, and you're getting hooked after the second half hour anyway. So go out and make it your own, I guess.
Did you see he gave Gavin Strachan a wash?
I seen that he's got a skin fade.
Yep, mad.
Wow.
I got right today.
I rate him now. That he's got a skin fade.
Oh, I keep him. Got to keep him. Jordan Jai's made a good point in the chat. If I can find my mouse to pull up on screen, that's the wrong comment. Throw the water bottle FM style. I wouldn't like Ange to throw a water bottle at me. I must admit, quite terrifying. I think.
I know he seems like he'd have a bit of force towards it as well.
Did you listen to the interview done before the game with the guy for Celtic TV?
I did a wee bit, yeah.
He just has such a serious demeanour, such a straight face. He seems quite menacing. I wouldn't like to get a tearing off him.
I don't know why, but he kind of reminds me. You see with that sort of stern face of Steven Seagal.
Oh, aye, yes.
The sort of kung fu master. But
what is Steven Seagal up to nowadays?
Do you know, I was actually watching a video of him the other day. Some of his stuff is just incredible. I cannot believe you're talking about Steven Seagal on a Celtic stream. But the guy is just a walking meme, honestly. The way he sounds, the way he moves about the place. His demonstrations of Aikido are hilarious. But I cannot believe we're talking about this.
Well, second half's underway, and Celtic are kind of coming out the gates the way Sheffield Wednesday did in the first half. Shot blocked though, and look at that. Do you know what? First impressions of Liam Shaw so far from this game, I like him.
I'll
by the way now, Mr. Ayeti.
Redemption has begun.
You've got to love that. What a finish from Mr. Cap.
It was great play though by Liam Shaw fighting to get the ball back.
It was, and I was saying that just as obviously as I was saying that just as we got the ball to
He is absolutely massive.
I am loving that, by the way. Ayeti makes it Celtic 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. I mean, happy days, Ryan. That's the kind of finishing you want to see, though, because he struck it low, he struck it hard, he got it in the back of the net, and Ayeti's trying to show people that he's still got it in him.
I'm going to pay homage to the body expert, the body expert Celtic supporters club here, but his attitude looks brilliant. He looks right up for this as well. And is that him down? Is that him?
And there's his season over and done with, just like that. That's brilliant. Fantastic. There's Ayeti down. Brilliant. Ewan Stars just came back from a bike run and noticed we were 1-0 down and had to be Windass that scored. Obviously 1-0 now, but love the new studio and get laptop Strachan out. Thank you for the £5, Ewan. Very much appreciated. If you do want to donate or whatever, then feel free to do it. I hate comments like this, you know what I mean? Like, Andy, yeah, got to win the league, yes. I'm like, I've seen that
seal getting used for years and years and years, and it still makes me laugh every time. I don't know why. Why does a seal have a Rangers scarf on? Like, that's mental.
But you know, it's fucking hell. Yeah, he looks like he's hurt, doesn't he? Oh, for fuck's sake!
Dear.
Yeah, he's getting his boot off.
Kevin on the phone.
He's getting his boot off. This isn't great. This, but you're going to win the league. Like, sorry, what we meant to do when Celtic score a goal, we might sit there like that.
Scored quicker than Rangers did against Partick Thistle, mind you.
You're loving this, aren't you? You're loving these things.
66 minutes and a missed penalty.
You're just
even 66 minutes. That's when they took the penalty, was it?
I don't know, mate. I didn't watch it. I couldn't care.
I didn't watch it either, but I keep informed. At least he's walking off the pitch.
He's walking off, going off to the sidelines just now. He is hobbling, to say the least. But a lovely
again. Terrible goal, easy tapping.
Snape is absolutely loving it. See, to be fair, you've got to respect the hustle of Professor Snape. You've got to respect that.
He's taking time out from his potions class to watch the Celtic pre-season game. You absolutely love to see it. Him and Dumbledore have got a stream going.
But similar times, or similar sort of starts to the halves, or the thirds, I should say. Sheffield Wednesday very much came out the gates firing straight away in that first one. They got the goal early on, 3 minutes in. Second third of the game, Celtic come out firing. Liam Shaw does a lot of hard work in the middle, and then Ajeti finishes.
Me, by the way.
Same. He's impressed me too. Good strike. Yeah, it's blocked away. But yeah, very similar starts. The finish from Ajeti, very tidy, very well driven, Ryan. And I mean, I know there's Ajeti. Look at him run back on the park. There you go. Brilliant. Ajeti's energy levels and such have been great. I think he's just hungry to get back in that team and show that I think for as much as, and thank you, by the way, to Connor Hall, who's donated £2. Say, bring back Lennon, Ryan. I'm actually just joking, but thank you for the £2, Connor. I think that Ajeti, despite this being friendlies, to a lot of these guys, these friendlies will mean a lot. They might not mean a lot to us, but to these guys they will. And Ajeti will want to I want to send a clear message that they don't need another striker. Ajeti's the striker. He'll be dying to do that.
Yep, absolutely. And like I said before, we paid 4 or 5 million for him, so we might as well give him another chance because, I mean, his market value might not be that high after last season as well, so you might not get a good fee for him anyway. I mean, despite his pedigree that he's had before, but it's good that we're giving him another chance, and it seems that he's already repaid the manager's fee for him by getting a goal. He looks more mobile than what he did last season.
Did you see him see when he hobbled off the park, right? And he came sprinting back on there. He was busting a gut to get back on the park again.
And Shaw winning the ball again. That's about 5 or 6 times I've watched that.
Yep, absolutely. I think both of us have said that a couple of times now. Look at Shaw, the space he's in there. Get the ball to him, man.
Look at the ball backwards, by the way.
Yep, they didn't even pass it back to Shaw there, who was in the space. But yeah, I think that's one of the keen observations I think we've both made numerous times throughout this stream so far has been Shaw. So far, one of the standout guys, I'd say, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. He's won the ball back 5 or 6 times already. He always got a wee bit of fire in his belly, and it seems like he's got a good attitude from the 35 minutes that we've watched him. But you see, this first 5 minutes, I've enjoyed this a lot more than the opening half hour. He got a tackle on. I know I'm a couple of seconds behind you, so I'll be giving pure delayed coverage, but
mate, it's hardly like you're 5 minutes behind. Don't worry.
It feels like it, honestly. Like you were with the goal, you were like, I was wondering what happened. Like, had we scored? Did we get a penalty? I knew it was something positive, but it's the joys of streaming, isn't it?
It is the joys of streaming.
But there's always going to be a delay in the streaming as well, because even if you're using this stream, it's always going to be a minute behind the actual game because it's not live. It's live to an extent, but the streaming still takes about a minute to go through. That's why I can't use my phone during games.
Well, that's the reason I'd never probably do, like a big game. I don't do watch-alongs anyway. It's not my thing, watch-alongs. I'm only doing it for this because it's, Celtic are back. It's Ange'S first game. Bit of fun, it's a friendly game. We can have a bit of fun, just chat through it. I would never go and do it for like a Champions League game. Not a chance in hell. It's not my sort of thing. What we'd do is, we'd be there, but what we'd do is we'd head to the studio afterwards and get pished and record pished.
Yes, absolutely. That sounds absolutely brilliant to me.
A big year ahead for the podcast, isn't it? Big year
Definitely.
ahead.
It's a big year ahead for loads of fan media as well, though. I have to say, a lot of fan media sites are really making big strides, and it's great to see. And you can tell that the mainstream media are quite kind of shaking in their boots, or quivering rather, at the thought of the expansion of this, because it's quite obviously the way forward. And the fact that they've had to come out and make blog posts and articles sort of defaming fan media shows that they're threatened by it.
James says we need a Celtic gold bridge. Would you like to be the Celtic gold bridge, Ryan?
I would absolutely love that. Absolutely.
In regards to Charles' comment, he asked what shape are we playing. We answered it earlier on. It still, to me, looks like that sort of attacking. I think we are just kind of drifting in between a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3 sort of thing, Ryan, by the looks of it. It has been very attacking. We are using players out wide, adverse to last season where we were keeping ourselves very narrow. And I'm a big fan of seeing that change to using wide players again.
Yep, absolutely. I thought that was a big miss last season, obviously with Forrest being injured and El Yunusi having to be sort of like the one winger, even though he wasn't really a winger of sorts. He was more of an attacking mid / I don't know, like an inverted winger or something. But it's good to see that we've got some width in the team. I feel like we did have some width with regards to Frimpong until he was let go and until he was transferred to Leverkusen, rather. But once we lost him, we lost all sorts of width in the team. So it's good that we're sort of implementing that early doors.
Well, people asking if Ayeti's still on. Yes, Ayeti is still on the park. He is back, and he made sure that there was no doubt about it when the way he sprinted on. As we said at the time, he was right back on the park as quickly as possible. We're over 1,000 viewers right now, by the way. That is obscene. Thank you very much, and thank you if you have. If you haven't already, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe. You can donate via super chat, or you can just get involved in the chat for free. We'll try and get as much done as possible. If you super chat, will guarantee your comment to be used on stream, unless it's something that, of course, that we can't display. You know, it has to be a sensible message. It's like when people start taking the piss, they start throwing up like the have you seen, what's his name, Big Robbie? He's been done a few times, man. Big Don Robbie.
I've seen Dobby.
Dobby, There's Snape's getting you going, aye.
I've seen Robbie getting it done. I've seen the lassies after the game, the girls doing the after show. They get done a couple of times with some of the names, especially. It seems as if it's got an audience. There's people that want to see people read out funny names and that. But I'd like to say that I'm quite tuned into these sort of things. I know all the names.
Mm-hmm. Well, A-Rod is donated $1.99. Here we go, 10 in a row. Clearly resetting the counter. We're ready to go again, Ryan. It doesn't matter if it's at 1 or at 9. We're going for 10 in a row.
Resetting the counter because last season was a COVID cup, so I
genuinely believe that we're going to go after this and you're going to have 17 different clips on the Kerry deal.
So good. Fine by me. I love it.
The COVID Cup. The dads are going to love you. You should talk more at this in the podcast because we've got Kieran Auld who constantly attacks the dads. You could just side with him.
That'll be on my Patreon.
Your Patreon.
I'll be pure on the fence if it hangs on the main stuff, but the Patreon they'll hear my actual views. You know, got to keep my fans happy. You know what I mean?
Aye, of course. Aye, it's all about the extra content.
That's that.
Would you ever start an OnlyFans?
If the market was there, if that's what people wanted, I've got to give the people what they want. If that's what they want to see, then maybe we'll see.
Maybe
depends what they want to see within reason.
I tell you, you're a good laugh, Ryan. I'm glad
I am down so bad.
That's why we're sitting here talking. What time is it on a Wednesday? 10 to 4 on a Wednesday, talking about an OnlyFans. Brilliant. Nice. Somebody said, "All right, sexy Ryan." Thank you very much, Stuart. I don't know what one you're talking.
I read that in my head with those voice notes from up north.
Hello, sexy. Was it hello, sexy? I've been thinking about you.
That's still the peak of Scottish Twitter.
Is it on YouTube anywhere? Because I need to watch it.
You just need to type in "knee spicking" on YouTube.
Yeah, aye, I've not seen it in ages, so I need to go and find it.
But a part 2 as well.
Is there a part 2?
Absolutely.
I think that should just be the opening to every podcast for one. Hello, sexy. I've been thinking about you.
Why are we talking about this? We are on the.
Oh, there's my camera.
You've been cancelled.
That's the sign. That's the sign. 42 minutes played here at the Welsh training ground place. I believe it might be the Dragons Park. I'm not too sure. But 42 minutes gone. We're in the second period of play. There will be 3 periods of play lasting half an hour. We're 42 minutes through, so we're nearly halfway in the second period of play here. Celtic equalised right at the start through an Albion Ayeti goal. Look at big Liam Shaw go, man. Brilliant. That's a foul, referee. Jesus. But anyway, Celtic, over the course of this period of play, Ryan, they're starting to impress me more. The moving and the kind of tempo of the game is more suited to them now. And, we're starting to look more comfortable.
It's looking more like men against boys than this. You can really see the League One team against the Scottish Premiership team here. Head and shoulders above them. Liam Shaw's obviously made the correct move in joining Celtic from Sheffield Wednesday. So you absolutely love to see it. No, I'm only joking, but I know Sheffield Wednesday have a number of quality players in their team. But it's good that the young players are sort of standing up to them. I think they took a wee while to get into the game, but now they're giving them all they can get, really.
I can't stop talking about. I know we've spoken about them a lot, and I think Celtic are about to make a substitution now. I think it looks as though there's going to be a change in between the sticks. Barkas's game might be over. I see somebody standing on the side, but yes. I know we've been talking quite a bit about. Oh no, he sat back down. It's fine. I think Barkas looks as though he's going to be fine for now. But I've spoke quite a bit about Liam Shaw in this. It's been the player I've spoke about the most. But for a guy who's meant to be playing as a deeper sort of player, playing as a centre back, playing as a centre defensive midfielder, there it is. There's the change. Here he comes. You're Scott Bain. You probably think the song is about you. You're Scott Bain. Bain's made his way on. Barkas, his game is over. What a shame. I'm crying. But Shaw he's been really good moving forward.
Definitely. I would say he's been man of the match so far. Or he's been the player that stood out as well. I think Sorrow's grown into the game a wee bit more as well. You see a lot more crunching tackles from him. Standing tackles more like, but it's good signs for this second period that we've been doing quite well. Is that great? Is Parson
here? Oh mate, a lot of grey, mate. A lot of grey. A lot of it. Sheffield Wednesday have basically made a full team substitution there. I think they must be just working the game in 2:45s rather than the 3 half hours. So they look as though they've made big changes. So it'll be weird to see now how Celtic battle these kind of fresh legs. Look at Big Shaw, man. Brilliant, big man. Celtic now need to kind of battle against these fresher legs for the next 15 minutes until we make changes.
Yep, absolutely. They just need to hold in for the next 15 because they'll have fresh legs all over the pitch. We're basically changing their whole team. So it'll be a good test against maybe a rejuvenated opponent with new players in the field. Every time he's on the ball.
Every time, mate.
Like, who is this guy? This guy actually looks really good.
We can't beat this guy.
To be fair, I was saying the same after Leon with Kundai Benyu. So you've got to take performances with a pinch of salt.
Oh yes, of course. It works both ways. At the start of the game, it works both ways. At the start of the game, we're down 1-0. We're saying, fucking hell, it's a friendly game. I'm not going to read into it too much. And it's the same when a player plays well in these sort of games. It's a friendly game. You can only take it with a pinch of salt. But it just certainly makes things a little more encouraging. I think that's the grand message of it all. It's good to be encouraged. I've seen a lot of Rangers fans on Monday. A lot of Rangers fans were talking about, who was it again? One of the players who played for Rangers Monday, one of the younger guys, but they were really happy with what they've seen, and that's good. You want to be encouraged by your younger players.
That podcast, he was talking about Kelly doing well.
Yeah, it's always good to feel encouraged by seeing these guys perform well, whether it be your friendly or not, because it tells you a lot about moving forward what you might see. We need to Ange'S at the process now as a manager where he needs clear identification as who's his best 11 and who's going to be able to do what for him in specific roles. So it does matter. As I said, take it with a pinch of salt, but in terms of feeling encouraged as a fan, it certainly does matter.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like I've said before, it's a clean slate for all the players, a chance to impress the manager. Obviously, it's his first game, so he'll be wanting maybe a positive result at the end of this. He won't want to get beat, of course. He's that sort of winning mentality, but it's been interesting so far. It's good to see a couple of the guys getting into some crunching tackles because Sheffield Wednesday were doing that at the start of the game as well. So it's good that they're giving it some back. It's been a good tempo to the game. Be interesting to see the changes when they happen after 60 minutes. I've enjoyed it. I've been pleasantly surprised with the quality of play, especially in the second third of this 3/3 game.
Yeah, Ralston still looked a little bit weak for me there in the defending. Sheffield Wednesday player attacking him. I thought he had to be a little bit stronger. He tried to stand him up. He just didn't do it so well. I don't want to be nitpicking about Ralston because I know I'll do it far too easily and be a bit harsh on him. But we have the dude abides in the chat. What a photo, by the way, if that's him. I don't know. Is that Jim Carrey?
No, I think is that not the Big Lebowski?
Oh, that's right. If that's him and it's fucking the Big Lebowski.
Is that Kurt Russell?
Yes. A Shaw winger. By the way, Kurt Russell is brilliant in Hateful Eight. By the way, absolutely
Really
brilliant.
is.
Aye, but he's not a winger. He's meant to be a centre half, but in this he's been playing like an attacking midfielder. Man, he's been brilliant to watch.
I think he's been sort of like a box to box sort of player.
Yeah, because now look at him. He's back in the age of our box, but he suddenly transitions up the park very quickly.
Yeah, I really like the look of him. I've got to be honest. See, if Usazi is like him, then I'll be quite happy as well in terms of the work rate and the application to his work. I know he's playing against his former club, so he'll have something to prove. At the same time, it's been impressive. It's been a very good debut, no matter who he's playing against. It's been very encouraging. Definitely want to see more of him as the season progresses.
10 minutes left of the second period of play. Maybe nice if Celtic were to go up and it's Jeff Bridges. It's Jeff Bridges. It's Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
Bad, innit?
You could say, I still insist that.
Who's Kurt Russell then?
Kurt Russell's the one in Hateful Eight. He's in Hateful Eight. Kurt Russell's in Hateful Eight. Kurt Russell's got the big fucking white beard. You know who Kurt Russell is when you see him. You know who he is when you see him.
Was he in the Aye, John Root?
Aye. He got the big white. Well, he had the big white beard for a while, and but you know who Kurt Russell is, for God's sake. He plays Chris Pratt's dad in Guardians of the Galaxy.
So he does. That's what I'm thinking of, because they do look quite similar.
Aye. So he plays his dad.
That's what I'm thinking.
10 minutes to go. Celtic on possession right now, trying to move the ball forward. Yeti turning his man on the edge of the area. Decent ball in. Cleared away though by Sheffield.
That was a great touch from Yeti, by the way.
It was. It's a player who we know has a good first touch. Oh, Sorrow's been taken out. Oh, referee, come on. Poor there. What do you know? What's one thing we haven't talked about is I just see somebody in the chat right now saying thoughts on it tonight. The big is it coming home tonight? Denmark and England.
Depends what you mean by coming home, because they've changed the
yes,
of that over the past couple of days. Apparently, it's just due to the song. It was 30 years since 1966. That was their whole "It's Coming Home," but it gets used in a different way now. It gets used that we're automatically going to win every competition that we're in, which hasn't been the case since 1966, obviously. But it'll be an interesting game. I think it'll be the toughest game, I'll be perfectly honest. Denmark are playing with something. They're playing with this sort of fire in their bellies because of what happened to Christian Eriksen, I feel like they've got that sort of...
there's a certain passion there. In every game they play, there's a passion to go and win the game for what's happened. And not just that, for the rest of the country after, what was a hard opening game for everybody to watch. There's certainly it's an overwhelming sense of togetherness in this Denmark squad that makes them a tough team to beat.
I've got to say that watching that live, I don't think that image will ever leave me of Christian Eriksen. It actually haunts you with how bad it was. But I mean, I think we were all glued to our phones for the half an hour, 45 minutes after that, waiting for some updates. But it's good to see that he is making a recovery, and he's been invited to the Euros final along with the medics that treated him. So I'm hoping that Denmark are in the team are in the final to welcome him there. That would be a great moment. And I'm sure every fan across the world would love to see Denmark welcome Denmark into the final with Christian Eriksen, if you know what I mean.
Yes, of course.
Because you know what that means. If Denmark, obviously, I'm putting two and two together there, but I think it'll be a difficult game for England tonight. Obviously, I think England will be the favourites, just due to the players that they've got at their disposal. But I mean, apart from their Ukraine game, I don't think they've played that great, to be
No,
honest.
they haven't. They've not been great, even against Germany. You know, Germany were a poor side and they didn't really take advantage of it to the last 10, 15 minutes of the game. Because Germany were poor in the day and they did waste a couple of chances. I just don't think England have been great up until Ukraine, and suddenly because they beat Ukraine 4-0, they're the world beaters. So wait and see what happens.
Denmark have been one of the best outfits, I would say, in the competition in terms of the way they're managed and the way they transition from defence to attack. They're so quick on the counter. So it'll be interesting to see if they can implement that. They've obviously got Kasper Dolberg. Goldberg.
Goldberg.
That's bad because I was using that meme as well. But he's a guy that knows where the goals are. He's been like that since he was at Ajax. Something happened.
I was struck low there. It was a good chance for Celtic, but a good save from the keeper. Well, I'd say a good save, a comfortable save for the keeper. Maybe a bit more direction on it. It could have been a goal for Celtic, but still, 1-1. Continue what you're saying anyway, Ryan.
I can't even remember. Kasper Dolberg. He knows where the goal is. They've got a couple of really good players. Thomas Delaney, who was linked with Celtic 4 or 5 years ago. I remember his name quite clearly. Obviously plays with Borussia Dortmund. He's a really good player. I really enjoy watching him on Saturdays whenever Borussia Dortmund are on. So it should be an interesting game. I mean, Denmark are no mugs, so I think it'll be a really good game. I mean, if it's half as good as last night's game, then we're in for a treat.
We are in for a treat. Sheffield Wednesday went forward there for a chance, but the shot goes across the face of goal. Seeing it out for a goal kick as Celtic look to now build out from the back. It remains Celtic 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1. 5 minutes to go. The 2 goals today scored. Number 1, first the opener by Josh Windass for Sheffield Wednesday. The equaliser by Albion Ayeti. I'm looking forward to this second period of play now to see Edouard come on, Ryan. Edouard, who we all thought had played his last game for Celtic. We were all putting up the tweets saying, "Oh, farewell, King Edouard," and such, but he remains here and he will be playing in this game today.
It's a bit weird because he was coming off against Hibs, and you're like, this is the last time we'll see him, and then he's back. It's like, what are you doing here, mate? Like, he's supposed to be gone. But I mean, I'll take it. He's a great player on his day. I mean, he scored over 20 goals. Oh, what a goal.
I don't mean to spoil your party there, but it is 2-1 to Celtic.
Yes, that's wee guy, by the way. He's
in the back of the net.
Is that Moffat?
I think it might be Moffat, yep. It's 2-1 to Celtic. I think it's Moffat. But it fell nicely to him just inside the area. He takes the ball down, turns round, puts it at the back of the net. It's Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Ryan, he does well. The way he just turns onto the ball there, does really nice. Puts his body weight behind it and puts it in the back of the net. And you've got to love it.
That's a very Ayeti finish for Moffat, isn't it?
Yes, I hope it's Moffat. I hope it's Moffat. It is Moffat, isn't it?
It's Owen Moffat.
Yes, okay, brilliant. Say 56th minute, we'll say 56th minute. Gotta love that. It was a good finish, really good finish. I love how I had
fun as well.
Yep. There you go. Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, lads. We're in the lead after being down early on and thinking that it could have went the way that we didn't want to see it go. It's nice to see that the team have turned it around and a goal right at the start of the phase of play in this half hour. And a goal towards the end of the phase of the play in this half an hour, Ryan. It shows that the intensity has been there. And there's Moffat down with cramp, I think. But there has been a nice kind of consistency throughout the 30 minutes of play here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's been a lot more attacking play. Definitely more than the first period. I think we've been brilliant. For a pre-season game, you can't really ask for much more because we've had our 2. Did we score in the second period? Was that? Aye, we did. So we scored 2 goals in the second period. It's kind of weird to sort of talk about that because you don't expect the game to stop at 30 minutes. But 2 goals. We're in the lead now, and the quadruple is on.
The quadruple is on. You're loving this today, mate. Do you know what I get the fear? One thing I've not really thought of today, but just as I see Scott Bain standing in goals right now, I just hope he doesn't have like a good game or something that makes Ange go, you know what, you're a good keeper, mate. You can stay in goals.
When did Ange turn into Scott McDonald?
Well, he's Australian, isn't he?
I know, but
Well, sorry, I can't do specific Australian accents. I just done a generic Australian accent.
We can't.
But
we are all Ange Postecoglou, but we all can't be Ange Postecoglou, and
no,
that's
we
the
all can't be. No, of course not. That's somebody's pointed out something in the chat there. I didn't even realise that's on 2 occasions now that the goal scorer has scored and then went down injured.
It's the new ritual that's coming in. You've got to pretend you're injured now when you've scored.
Please never do it. Ask me to. Please never do an Australian accent again. Thank you. Thanks. Nice.
Manchester has spoken.
Exactly. Stuart Keane, is the quadruple 4 wins in a row?
I don't know. Quadruple. Look, baby steps. Let's be honest here. If we can win 4 of these 30-minute thirds, then that can be the quadruple, and we can just build on that from there.
We can just build on that. Every quadruple's a better quadruple after that.
That's that. We only deal in quadruples here.
Yes. Do you think Ange likes a snout?
Aye. I don't think he likes snus or snus.
No, absolutely not.
That's been banned. That's been banned from.
That's if you were Dermot Desmond, you would ban that for the training grounds and everything. You just ban its use.
Yeah. Too many bad memories of last season. Another thing I was thinking of there, I was just talking about the social area there. Did they ever make that Lennoxtown social area?
God knows. We'll have to see if Ange builds on it or develops it further or scraps it, you know.
Well, he's a man of many talents. He's a builder, he said, so maybe he could build it in his spare time.
He might. Build a wee playhouse. Get a shoot built.
Respect for a guy crossing his legs like that, by the way, because I get a lot of slagging for doing that. So you see, if it's good enough for Ange Postecoglou, the manager of Glasgow Celtic, then it's good enough for me.
If it's good enough for Ange, it's good enough for me.
Don't think that'll catch on, mate.
We're coming up now to the end of the second passage of play in these 3/3 of football. Yes,
I've enjoyed this, by the way. This has been fun.
Have you enjoyed the new format of 3/3?
No. Maybe I'm too much of a traditionalist, but it cannot change.
What was it? Haggy said, what's his face? Real Madrid president Florentino Perez. He was saying that football games are too long. I have to cut them down and all the rest of it.
It's just because his defence is leaky as anything and can't last 90 minutes.
Just like Celtics.
That's very true. Maybe we should get into bed with Real Madrid. I don't know. Maybe get some
follow suit.
I know. This Owen Moffat has been really good.
Yep, it has been. A couple of players who've entertained me today. Yeah, I think he's one of the ones that stands out. Liam Shaw, as I've been ranting and raving about all game. I'm going to be starting the Liam Shaw CSC to be quite honest with you. But there's been I've put the
Twitter handle already. I've already made it. See, in a wee interlude there, I've already made it, mate. So.
What, the Liam Shaw CSC?
Shaw CSC.
Damn it. So are you the Presidente?
Absolutely. CEO, owner, scout, de facto director of football. I'm just Peter Lawwell all in one.
Well, it is the end of the second period of play. 60 minutes have passed. Games flew in, right? You said it's hard to fill up these spaces. We've been chatting nonsense for the last hour and we've managed to get our way through. But it is the end of the 60 minutes there. Celtic take the lead into the final half hour. We went into the second third 1-0 down. But right at the start of the play, Albion Ayeti equalised to make it 1-1. And towards the end, we had a second put in by Owen Moffat to make it Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1.
I think you'll be coming for the PA guy at Celtic Park after that. I felt like I was back there. I was like, you need to get that wee spinner thing. You need to get the Paradise Windfall thing. And that.
Okay, it was okay. Now presented by the Kitchen Depot. It's time for our Paradise Windfall.
I absolutely love the patter when they bring out Santa and he's wearing green and white. I just love that. I respect the gimmick. You know what I mean?
It's your chance to win £15,000. Get your tickets ready. What is it?
Don't say that. People. Snape will be putting his name in.
We should have done a rhyme on 1-8 half-time Paradise Windfall. That would have been good, eh?
I know. It would have been changed. What
would
they win?
I want that. Do you know when I was wee? When I was like 15, 16, that was my dream job.
Was it?
I had to be the stadium announcer.
I think you could do it, mate.
I think I could stay there.
Were you there for the new guy's first game?
I don't know if I was there for his first game, but I still remember being there. I don't know if it was his very first one, but I remember being there and it was the old guy, and I was like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on here?" Like, I didn't know it changed.
I don't know if he had any nerves or that, but he was loud as anything, man. I get deaf in one ear. Absolutely. He does, do you know, he gives it loudly, and I absolutely love him for it. And do you know what I miss most? Remember the oomph he gave
Musa. Oh, yes, that was brilliant. Musa!
The thing I can think of is maybe better than that is, and I know you don't like them, but Man City's one when they say Gabriel Jesus.
That's pish.
No, it's the way he says it. He's Brazilian, but obviously he's got the Portuguese pronunciation.
Portuguese pronunciation. Well, we'll wait in news. I think there might be a tweet in a moment about the team. We'll wait and see what we're sending out the second half. We will try and inform you of all the changes. There was a leaked sort of. There's my phone away. there was a leaked team for the second half. Is Bruni playing? Aye, Bruni's there. There was a leaked team. Aye, somebody said is Bruni playing in the chat.
Aye.
Bruni's
well,
there.
I mean, it surprised me. Ledley's doing the commentary.
Oh, aye, that's right.
He left too early in his Celtic career, didn't he?
Joe Ledley, yeah, brilliant player. Who's this Australian lassie they've got on the now?
Wait a minute, I don't think she's Australian, mate.
I think she is.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
so.
It's better than Jerry McCulloch, let's be honest.
Anything's better than Jerry McCulloch. Is the team on the Celtic website? I'll try and throw up a photo of the team for the second half. Ryan, give us your breakdown thus far for those who may just be joining us of the opening 60 minutes. We've seen, it is 4:15. Some people may have finished their work at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So, go for it.
I would say if you're watching this game back, if you're going to watch this back at a later date, if it becomes available, skip the opening 30 minutes because it was awful. Then watch the second half.
See, you're just to interrupt you very quickly. Turn your telly back down.
Sorry, is it loud?
That's it now. Hold on. The team for this passage of play is going to be Scott Bain in goals, McPherson, Leo Hjelde, we'll see him. Murray remains in the park. Leo Connor, Luca Connell, Scott Robertson, Ewan Otu, Coffey, Afolabi, and Afolabi and Odson Edouard. A decent wee side for the second half of play there.
It's definitely very interesting. A couple of guys that have really impressed me in the past. Obviously Hjelde at Ross County. We
spoke about him in the podcast, and he could be one of the most exciting sort of players in the next couple of years at Celtic. We're looking forward to seeing him.
I mean, Yogi was rating him very highly, saying he was the next Van Dijk. So I mean, we'll take half of that, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to seeing that midfield partnership of Connell and Robertson. Both guys that have really impressed me whenever I've seen them play.
Lewis Laird's dream.
Mm-hmm. And I know lots of people talk about Luca Connell because he was kind of high profile when we announced him, but Robertson was really good against Cluj a couple of years ago. So I'd like to see how he's progressed.
Well, yeah, Robertson was at Gillingham, was it last season?
Who's this? Sorry?
Was Scott Robertson.
He was at Doncaster. Wait, Gillingham, then Doncaster.
Gillingham, then Doncaster. Yep, that's right. And we heard decent enough reviews about him, so it'd be nice to see how that progression has went for him.
He didn't look out of place in the game against Cluj. I remember him and Cham were both playing. They both looked all right. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. I'm looking forward to seeing Ewan Otu as well. I have so many clips of him going about on the internet when he was doing well for Clyde. So hopefully makes the step up and takes his chance.
Big news. We've got a nice message from that's the wrong person. Sorry, Nuck Choris. We've got a nice message. We've got a nice message here from I've got a Porsche and a Lambo. Big news coming about Celtic going bankrupt. I, for one, am buzzing about that. Absolutely buzzing.
I mean, they'd all be experts on bankruptcy, wouldn't they? They've got previous knowing about stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm glad they're giving us the warning. Know what I mean?
Oh, you're loving this, man. Jordan Gray's.
I think Div is going to batter me the next time he sees me.
Jai is fuming that Ben is the captain rather than Odson Edward. And Connor Hall has donated £1. Thank you again, Connor, for the support. And thank you to everybody who's been watching so far. We're still over 1,000 viewers, 1 hour and 25 minutes into this. Ryan, I don't even pay you, but I feel like I need to owe you like some overtime money or something. I'll buy you your bottomless drink at Nando's this evening.
I'm on the water, so it won't even.
I don't know if I can pay for that.
I don't think you can, because if it's tap water, it's free.
All right, well, fair enough. I just can't bear the thought of going to drink tap water at a restaurant. You know, it just feels boring. You need to treat yourself, you know.
I want to, but I'm trying to keep it. The only fizzy juice I've had in the past 2 weeks has been sort of fizzy water, and that's got no added sugar. So
fizzy water. Ugh.
But at the same time, no, it's like fizzy. It's like it's still water, but it's like apple and raspberry and stuff like that.
Right, okay. Right. Okay, I get you. Well, the third portion of the game, the third and final portion of the game, has just kicked off here at Dragons Park. Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, as we head into the final portion of the game. I, for one, am very excited. We've got fresh legs, and one of those sets of fresh legs is Odson Edward. So let's get stuck into it, Ryan, and hopefully we can add another one to that.
It's already pointing out possessions.
Yes.
I'm sorry, we're taking the bare minimum here, but that makes me happy. He's interested. And
yes,
I don't want to have that whole agenda that he's not interested and stuff like that. But it's nice to see that in a pre-season game.
Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake, who was that? Who on God's name was that? Did I just turn around and see that there? Fuck me. You see this?
What? Have we conceded? Or...
No, just a piss poor pass. And a pass
before in the first period.
Jeez, guess first friendly back. Let's not be too harsh. What I was going to say, the one thing I'm disappointed, I'm not going to stop mentioning his name. I was very impressed with him today in that first 60 minutes. I'm going to miss seeing Liam Shaw here in this half.
Yeah, I mean, I might just tune out now, to be honest, because he was my. I was really looking forward to seeing him, and now that he's gone, what reason is there to watch it anymore? No, I'm only joking, but
what reason is there?
That I was going to say that, but you can't say that, man. Come on. But no, it's good to see some fresh legs on the pitch as well. But Liam Shaw certainly done himself no harm or no fault with the way that he played over the 60 minutes. He looked good. He didn't look tired at the end of the 60 minutes, which is good. And he looks like an absolute battering ram. So I'm sure he'll fit in really well at Celtic.
I think it was actually, funnily enough, Leo Hilda, who I was going, for fuck's sake. I think it was actually him. He's
no slander at all. The guy looks an absolute unit.
Carrying the ball forward there, trying to play a pass over, but it just ends up going nowhere. It just annoys me in these friendly games. I don't bother with the shirt printing. I would really like that shirt printing.
I know. That used to be... Wait. Number 72. Was that not Mikey Johnson's number?
No, was he 76? Or was it? No, actually, I don't know. Can't mind. He was something, and then he moved to obviously 19, didn't he?
Did he?
He moved to 19 a few years ago.
Shows you how much I pay attention to numbers, eh?
It's hard with what we need to fucking pay attention to be quite honest. Ball being passed around the back a little bit now. Celtic looking for a way out. There's Leo Connor moving it out wide.
He's a guy that he do well.
Yes. Sheffield Wednesday though attacking with a little bit of power here. Good defending from Hilda, and Scott Bain will come in and recover the ball. Sorry to spoil the game for you now. But
it makes me happy knowing that nothing will come of this.
No, nothing will come. Exactly. Look at my headset here. My headset here is coming in nice. Love it. Brilliant.
It's better than Snape slagging your haircut every 2 minutes, man. I think he's got about 5 or 6 phrases that he's just copying and pasting.
Yep. He's tried his best to get the Juan Kerr in there, like so many times. Tried so many times.
I know. And you know what? To be fair, you've just given him it.
Paused it so it's on time with my 100% legal stream. No spoilers, please. No worries, Jai. Oh, there's a camera. Mate.
I'm just looking at some game over there, by the way, in the cricket, 71-4.
How can you read that? How can you actually read that? That's terrifying.
20/20 vision, my man.
20/20 vision. Fuck.
I actually used to wear glasses. Here's another anecdote coming. I used to have Garfield glasses You know, they have like
Grafton.
they used to have like themed glasses, so they would have like the cat on.
Oh
them.
yeah, right, okay, aye. Like I used to have Bob the Builder glasses when I was like 3, right, okay, aye.
You need Ange'S the Builder glasses now, man.
Ange'S the Builder glasses, aye.
No, I used to have it in like P3, but my eyesight improved because I was wearing glasses a wee bit more. So here we are.
Here you are. So you used to be a specky then?
Well, I was a temporary specky, I would say.
A temporary specky.
Yep, temp spec.
Temp spec. I'm full-time spec till the day I die.
Yeah.
We've got a Celtic. We've got Fraser in the chat. Celtic fan living in Sheffield. Hail, hail. Thank you very much, Fraser. Hope you're having a good day. I hope you're enjoying the game, mate. I hope that you're getting it right up every Sheffield Wednesday fan after this tonight. After this friendly win. Celtic on the turn here, looking for something. Here's big Oddson. Go on, Oddson. Show them you just want Edouard to show that he's a class above every single player on this park, don't you?
Yeah.
I should say many classes above, not just a class, many classes.
Yeah, I know. Some people would much rather have Griffiths in their team than Oddson Edouard. That will always baffle me, to be honest.
Well, let's just calm down now.
I know, but it's mental. Like, show the guy some respect. He scored like 20 odd goals last season, despite having a poor sort of performing season. The fact that he can still do that despite having a poor season, and he's always been there, so he's always been available when other players haven't been available. So I just don't agree with the slander that goes on with Edouard because he's given us plenty of great moments.
Absolutely. What do you make of? I don't want to bring up too much the scenario and such because it's obviously sensitive issues and all the rest of it. What do you make of some of the notoriety? Oh, here, by the way, ball chance now for Celtic. Ball crossed into the area, cleared away by Sheffield Wednesday. What do you think of some of the notorious Celtic Twitter accounts with their stance on the situation?
Absolutely mental, isn't it? I mean, Facebook is an absolute riot with some of the stuff that comes out with. See, if you want the opposite of what you should think, go on Celtic pages on Facebook. And you'll usually find the opinion there. It absolutely baffles me some of the comments that are coming out. Like, Griffiths can do no wrong apparently. When I mean, to be fair, for a lot of his Celtic career, he has done wrong. That was a good chance. But, I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's quite a sensitive subject and stuff.
Well, I mean, I call it Stephen. Griffiths scores 40 when Celtic need him to give him respect.
40. Was Obama still the president at that time? 2015, 16. People are just living in the past. It's the same with Lustig. Oh, get him back. I mean, he's 34. We've got to push on the future. I still maintain that if we can use him in a deal for Nisbet, then I'd be all for that because Nisbet's 24, and you could, if you have a good couple of years, you could potentially sell him on as well if he was to break out even more so. But it's a sensitive subject, but he doesn't help himself at all, and he keeps on going back into the same sort of situations where he brings the club into a wee bit of an embarrassing situation again and again. And at the same time, it's not our duty to look after Griffiths forever. Griffiths has got to repay it back as well. Like, we've done our side of the bargain, and I don't think he's came back. I remember Brendan Rodgers making that comment, and a lot of fans agreed with him at the time. Griffiths has got to have his side of the bargain next. And I thought that was quite interesting, him saying that. And I'd be more inclined to believe Brendan Rodgers, I'll be honest. But he's got to pay his back. And listen, if he does well, then I'll give him all the credit in the world. And I'll say, look, you've done it again. You've proved us wrong. But I mean, it's another setback, isn't it?
Well, it's an embarrassment yesterday. We'll wait and see what his position in the team is going to be from here on out. After that, I mean, absolutely fucking. It's a situation, of course. I said it's one that you don't really, you don't have the position. I don't think any's have the position to come in and just talk about it with all the certainties and uncertainties there may or may not be. So it's definitely a weird one, but God almighty, what a fucking, at first instinct, I was like, oh my God, contract termination should be around the corner. But look, we'll wait and see. But Edouard's on the park. That's what matters. And and hopefully we get a goal from him in the rest of this game. I think about 22 minutes to go now. It's been a bit slower. I think you can see that it's in a pre-season kind of mood now as we get late on in the game. I think the game has kind of slowed itself down. They're wanting a little bit of balance back in, and just in terms of seeing it out without any hurt players or anything like that, Ryan. I think it's just what you'd expect.
I'm quite fine with that, to be honest. I mean, we're winning as well, so a win's a bonus in this game, to be honest.
It's game management, isn't it?
It's game management. I get the 3 points on the board, know what I mean? What a tackle! How is that a foul?
You tell me.
That's baffling. I think that's
you tell me, because it's well past on my screen and I can't remember.
All right. No, it was the tackle from Luca Connell. I guess they're bringing it back for an earlier incident because it was a clean tackle from Connell. He's a guy I really want to do well this season. I want to see.
There's so many players in the park right now that I really want to see do a lot and fucking get chances and show how good they are. I'm just sitting saying "and" here constantly, but you know what I'm trying to say. Just so many players here that have a big future
tomorrow as well. I can tell you're in your zone.
It's just I like Luca Connell. He really kind of lit it up for Queen's Park. I know League 2 Premiership, massive difference, but there certainly is signs of a player who could carry that quality into a Celtic team.
I mean, there was a lot of fanfare when he came in as well, and Lennon was talking about how big a talent he was. I didn't know if there was maybe a link due to his previous days at Bolton, if he'd maybe kept tabs on him when he was younger. I don't know, but no, it was a weird one that he never played him in an actual game for 2 years. Especially when we were so devoid of ideas, especially in the first half of last season in the midfield, because we continued to play Brown even though he was dropping 4 out of 10 performances week after week. We didn't have another option. I mean, you could say the same for Turnbull, but I know he had problems as well. But we kept on going with the same lineup when we could have freshened it up. When he showed that he could do that before, I mean, he had a great game against Ross County, I remember. It was either Ross County or Hibs in the pre-season game, and he was absolutely dominating play. So it shows that he can do it. That's a terrible tackle. That's a number of bad tackles from Sheffield Wednesday, but
it's been the whole game. I feel like the whole game, Sheffield United, keep saying United, Sheffield Wednesday have been very, very rough in their play. They've been getting stuck right in, and it's not been very clean for a friendly, has it?
No, I know. There's Afolabi on the pitch. I know he didn't really get much of a look in it. Dundee. Oh my God, I've done it. Jumped into that hole again. It shows you how off the boil I've been with Scottish football recently. But I never really got a chance with Dundee. I know he got a couple of goals at the start, but then I think they had Jason Cummins in the door and he never really got a go. But it's interesting. It's like I said, for every player, it's a clean slate.
Clean slate. That's it. I feel like as we brought up on, I think it was the last episode of Celtic the Thunder. I think it was that. Saying, all it takes is somebody like an Afolabi to go out and really impress the manager, and suddenly they've transformed their career around. It's madness. And
we used to make jokes about that with like previous managers, or if such and such performs in training, then there'll be a new signing. But it kind of is the case in a way, because they're playing for their futures when all is said and done. They're playing for their Celtic futures, hoping to get a good performance in to maybe impress the new manager. So it's good that a couple of these players have taken their chances, especially your sort of players like Moffat and Liam Shaw, especially. I know he's just in the door, but he's done nothing to harm his chances for sure.
Darren Moore is an absolute tank, by the way. Just seen him sitting on that bench. What a beast of a man. He's massive. His arms are huge. I would not mess with him.
Who would win in a fight between Ange and Darren?
That's a really good question. I don't want to answer it. It's a really good question.
I think if you get Ange Postecoglou in the octagon with Izzy Adesanya and Robert Whittaker from Down Under, I think he'll win. He'll pull it out of the bag.
I think give Ange a couple of brandies. I think you've got your winner there.
Yeah, he's sitting with his arms folded. I mean,
look at him, aye. He's just a Don, isn't he? Look at him. Big Don Postecoglou. He's a right good-looking Sopranos character. I can't wait to just see
did that camera zoom in as if it was from The Office?
Yeah, it was very, very novice work, to be honest. Worse than me. Let's be honest, Ryan. You couldn't split a worm in two. I didn't say I could split a word into. I didn't say anything about myself, did I? No, I did not.
I'm now quite paranoid that I've been calling Sheffield Wednesday Sheffield United a couple of times.
Mate, I've been doing it all stream. Just calm down.
Terrible, isn't it? Because I don't even know. I remember my dad telling me there was more of a Celtic connection with Sheffield Wednesday than I was with Sheffield United.
Couldn't really care about any of them, to be quite honest with you. I remember a couple of years ago, Rangers were down at Sheffield Wednesday, weren't they? And they were lapping it up. You know, they were giving Rangers a round of applause for singing "God Save Our Queen" and all the rest of it. I remember that. And they were proper pally with each other, the two sets of supporters.
It's nice to be friends, isn't it?
It's nice to make friends, you know. I was making pals with all of them down in London for the Scotland-England game. I was making pals with everybody, you know. I'm not a bad person, me.
Not a bad person. Did you?
No, I'm not a bad person.
Were you not chucking people in fountains? No.
No, absolutely not. No, I thought I was going to get chucked in a fountain, to be honest.
You could have been the equivalent, couldn't you? You could have been the Celtic equivalent to that.
The Celtic equivalent of getting fucked in the fountain. But I wasn't. I met plenty of Rangers fans over the course of the weekend. It was great. They were really nice, honestly. A lot of Rangers fans who spoke to me over the weekend were nice. Were just saying, "Oh, enjoy your stuff."
You get that in your comments as well. You see a lot of people saying I'm a Rangers fan, but your stuff's quite balanced and you take it, you just say everything as it is. So
you're lucky you don't see my views in the group chat.
I know.
I'm joking. I kid, of course. Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1 with 15 minutes to go. It has been a bit of a slower final third. Of course, if you haven't been watching, then you won't know how the game has worked. It's been 3 half-an-hour periods rather than 2:45. Celtic now making their way into the Sheffield Wednesday area, but the congestion's too much. I thought with the camera angle that might have been going in the back of the net there from Afolabi, but it has gone wide. But it has been, oh, look at that. There he is. Who's in the chat?
Crawl out McGinley?
I have to crawl out. I don't know if to crawl out.
I know what you mean now. Aye.
What is it? What's he mean?
Out your arse, because I was talking you up there.
Oh, right. You know, you're under my fault, my non-employment. Oh, ball in, it's cleared away. But yeah, it's been working in terms of a three periods of half an hour. We're now 15 minutes to go in the last period of the game. Celtic still up 2-1. It's been a quiet third period, not so much happening, but Celtic very dominant on the ball. They've been keeping it, they've been moving it around. They do still look the better side, and you'd imagine now in the last 15 minutes it is just about making sure they walk away with a win.
Yeah, as long as we don't do anything stupid, I think we should do. I don't think Wednesday have looked that fluid in this third of the game.
It does help right enough that Celtic have made the changes, got some fresh legs on the park.
It's a bit of a weird dynamic, isn't it? I'm still not used to it at all, and I don't want to get used to it. I hope this is just a one-off. Maybe in the next game it'll be 45-45. They might just be doing this as a one-off.
See, the way they were from my assumption of the pre-match stuff, Ange was saying, "Oh, we're going to give a group of boys 60 minutes, and then we're going to give another group of boys 30 minutes." And then by the way Sheffield United done their changes just 45-45, it gives me the impression that this was Celtic's decision to go ahead in this sort of way. But obviously, I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That's just me.
Both teams did agree on that format, though.
Obviously, yeah. But I wonder if it was Celtic's idea to play it like that or whatever. It's certainly different, to say the least.
Because Wednesday have done 45-45.
Yep.
Which is fair enough. It's their prerogative.
The prerogative. Leo Connor, has he been playing? I think he's been playing at the right back in this game.
That's where he was playing the majority of football at
Tranmere.
Tranmere, Mickey Mellon's new team. Now.
That's right.
He's gone back there after a season.
Well, I say new team. It's his old team that's became his.
He took a year sabbatical. Took a year sabbatical and joined Dundee United. But, no, I think Dundee United. Speaking of Dundee United for a minute, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do this season. Obviously under Tam Courts, they've had a wee bit of a left field appointment, and you hear the usual people talking about how backwards a move that is, but it's actually the opposite. It's quite a fresh name, somebody that obviously hasn't been talked about.
It reminds me of Callum Davidson.
I thought you were going to say Cathro there, because it reminds me of Cathro as well.
Shot from outside the box there, Sheffield Wednesday. Hits it low and hard, testing Scott Bain, but Bain does get down and he does make the save. But a lot of space opened up there for the Sheffield Wednesday player. There was no real press, and it does kind of give me the vibe that we have took our foot off the gas a little bit more in this third. Once again, friendly match. How much are we going to test that?
Maybe that's why these guys were in the second team and not the first team, because they've not been performing in training. I don't know if they've been punished that they can only do the 30 minutes. But no, it's been a quite quiet sort of last period, apart from that Afolabi chance. But it's been interesting. It's been quiet but interesting, because you obviously want to see these guys do well. The sort of guys that you've been hearing about doing well on loan, seeing them in a Celtic top, you want to see them kick on a wee bit. I wonder how many of these guys will maybe move to the Colts team for game time.
Yep. It'll also be interesting to see how much we change when we get McGregor back in the team, we get Forrest back in the team, we get Christie back, and all our international guys back in that squad. It'll be interesting to see them fitting into Ange'S system. We've not even considered that today. They've not been in Ange'S system. To see them be back in the team and obviously introduced to that system is going to be fascinating.
I'm quite looking forward to seeing Cal McGregor in this system, by the way, this forward thinking.
Well, I just in a sort of interesting point, as you mentioned his name there, we looked at Liam Shaw today and how he was very back to front, box to box, sort of a good run there from a Sheffield Wednesday player, ended in nothing. But he was very back and forward today and done really well. How much running is McGregor going to do under this Ange Postecoglou team is a very interesting point to think about.
Yeah, it'll be good if we have options in that department that we can sort of rotate, because I do not think Cal McGregor should be playing 60 games in a season. I don't think that's something to be what do you call
championing? Yeah, it's not. We shouldn't have a champion in that. That's poor player management, I would say.
In any other job, that would be overworking and crunch working rather.
Well, apart from basketball, because playing 82, on you go, just feel free.
To be fair, they're on and off the pitch all the time. They don't play as much as you'd think.
Exactly.
With the hard yards that the players do.
Yep.
I mean, I know they're running back and forth on the court, but different sports, but they're all fit, if you get me. They're all athletic.
McGregor should not be playing that amount of minutes, but it'll be interesting to see him playing in that Ange Postecoglou side and playing in the middle and see what his role precisely will be.
I know. It'll be interesting to see Turnbull as well. See what sort of play he does.
Of course.
He's maybe not as mobile as McGregor is. Same for Rogic as well, although Rogic's done well for Ange Postecoglou under his Australian national team, or under his management in the Australian national team. So it'll be interesting to see how they do. It'll be interesting to see if Turnbull can work on his defensive work as well, because he's been caught out a couple of times, I think, maybe towards the latter stages of the season with his defensive ability. So that's obviously something he needs to work on. But his attacking play is brilliant. He can always unlock the door.
A couple of slack passes in around the back today. That's the only thing it's really annoyed me. But I mean, once again, I'm not going to read into it too much, for God's sake. These are the youth players as well, still picking up their game and such. Need to watch that though. We were playing from centre half to centre half or across that back line, not to be silly with it and put it out for throw-ins when it comes to competitive football, or just miss it. And next thing you know, there's a winger standing the other side of the centre half and he scoops up the ball and he's through on goal. That would be my only complaint thus far of this game. But it's not been something I would say to overly worry about it by any means. Has there been anything for you that's annoyed you in this game?
Apart from the structure of the 30 minutes, nothing's really annoyed me. I can't get that out of my head. I'm such a traditional.
Can't get you out of my head.
That's the Australian plug there.
Aye.
But no, nothing's annoyed me because I've not allowed anything to annoy me. Like beforehand, I would have got annoyed at wee simple things, but now I'm quite chilled with the whole thing. It's a training exercise essentially, but it's good that we've got some goals on the board as well. so nothing that I can really complain about, apart from maybe conceding an early goal. But we've worked well apart from that.
Yep.
And then
I think that was credit to Sheffield Wednesday in that respect, because they really did play the opening few minutes like they wanted that goal very early. They did go straight out from the gates, determined to go and get it, I would say.
Windass was desperate for another goal against Celtic. But apart from that, they've not had any massive chances, have they?
Nah.
Not had any clear-cut chances. Maybe
There's been nothing that's really made me go, you know, like breathe air through my teeth or anything. You know, it's been,
and you can't base anything on this at all for both teams from Wednesday or Celtic, because as far as am I right in saying this is Wednesday's first pre-season game as well? So it's just a training exercise. So they'll just be working on fitness and getting formations set up, and Darren Moore will be looking to get his sort of stamp on the team as they're in League One now, and they'll be wanting to get straight back up, because
they should be one of the favourites to win that league. They should be one of the favourites to win it.
With all due respect, Sheffield Wednesday are too big to be in League One. They should be a championship team at the very least.
Yep. A good message from my teammate for tonight. I've actually, funnily enough, got fives at 6 o'clock, so I'll be away to play some football at 6, buzzing for the game. But Jai has sent in a message. Hope to see a Liam Shaw-esque performance from you tonight, right, young man? Jai's on my team tonight. Don't worry. I've got the new training gear on. I've got my. I need to wear foot. I've finally retired from wearing normal socks playing fives. I am now going to look like a full kit wanker. Last week, tragedy struck, Ryan. I'm not going to get into the gruesome details, but let's just say blisters have got too much over the past few weeks for me, and I could barely walk over the weekend. So I'm done. I'm not taking risks anymore. I've went out. I've bought the football socks, and I'm going to be looking in the full kit, and I'll be like Liam Shaw tonight. Just you wait. Last week, my team absolutely cruised it. And I was like Van Dijk at the back, man. It was brilliant. It was good.
How do you wear your football socks? Do you wear them rolled down?
I'm going to be like Jack Grealish, mate.
I'll wear them down as well.
I wear them like Jack Grealish. I mean, granted, do you know what socks I actually got? Funnily enough, I was in the Celtic store yesterday returning my new. I got one of the training jackets in the new range. The new training range, and I got it in a size too big, so I thought to myself, I better take it back, try and get it switched to a size smaller. So I took it back, and while I was there, I was like, I may as well get socks while I'm here. So I've got the socks from the new goalkeeper kit, the new black goalkeeper kit. I got the socks for that.
Fair enough.
15 quid. They're black, they're black.
Can't go wrong with that.
It's the reason I picked them, you know. Where's the guy picked the big ones?
Copa Mundials, and that'll be you. Sorted.
Aye, that's what I wanted. What a pair! I seen a pair in the outlets today, but they were of size 6, and I'm a size 13. So.
Oh, see that Livingston outlet, by the way, for football boots, absolutely brilliant.
No for somebody with a size 13 feet though.
I suppose.
Minutes to go now. 87 minutes played. It is still Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. We are still over 1,000 viewers on this, and we've maintained 1,000 viewers for the majority of this stream, Ryan. So fair play to you, mate. A good showing today. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody who's been watching. We've still got some time to go, though. Still got a few minutes, and then we'll give a brief recap of the match afterwards. But Celtic looking to maybe go for one more. Edouard playing a ball over on that right-hand side, and it's just went out. Lee O'Connor couldn't quite connect the way he wanted to. Still Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Well, Ryan, as we come to the end of the game, what are you thinking of Ange'S Celtic so far?
I don't want to say for the sake of it, but I have seen a difference in the way we play. We look a lot more positive going forward. We look like we've actually got a wee bit of an idea of what we're doing when we go up front. Some nice wee passes, some nice wee balls over the top as well.
I mean, obviously we'll throw in that it's a friendly. We're not going to get over exaggerated or overly concerned or carried away with it. But I think you're spot on in saying it. There is clearly a change in systematic football in here. You know, it looks different. It looks like there's a plan and a vision adverse to the clear lack of vision we had for months.
Yeah, I don't even think we had a plan A last season. And if plan A didn't work, then, well, we didn't even have a plan A. So we just put players on, put 11 players in the park and hope that maybe El Yunusi or Edward scores and gets us out of jail. I mean, we'll see the wonders, or when we see the bare minimum happening. It's the same with that mic'd up thing. We didn't see that last season, stuff like that. So it's the bare minimum that gets us excited, yes, but it's stuff that we've been starved of over the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, allow us to be a wee bit optimistic. Do you know what I mean?
Aye, well, it's just the way of the world, isn't it? You've got to be bitter towards the other side. It's just how things go.
I mean, even open goal slagging it. I mean, come on.
Yeah, but it'd be different if it was their pal, you know.
It's true. Very true.
Coming up for the 90th minute now, 89 minutes played, Celtic 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. I don't imagine there will be much time added on. I'd imagine that, in fact, there'll be no time added on. But Celtic, here we go, big chance here. He's done it. He's done it. He's done it. The Prince of Glasgow has put it in the back of the net. I couldn't help myself and hide the reaction, Ryan. I'm tidy finish.
Do you know that'll do us? I wonder if the same fans that were laughing after 2 minutes are still watching after 89 minutes.
Doubt it, mate. Doubt it.
I know.
But odds on Edouard is the man who gets the goal. It's Celtic 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. We thought he played his last game for Celtic, and here he is, scoring in the pre-season friendlies for us. With a tidy wee finish.
It's a very good finish. It's great play. Good that Aflabi made the run as well, making himself available if he wanted to square it to him. But no, I'm happy with Edouard. I think he's been good. He showed that he's interested. He's put himself.
And there it goes. That's the full-time whistle. Celtic 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Ange Postecoglou's first ever game, be it non-competitive game of football in charge of Celtic, ends in victory with a goal right at the 90th minute there by Odsonne Edouard, making it a 3-1 win. Ryan McGinley.
Delighted. Absolutely delighted. Do you know that? I would have been delighted beforehand with the 2-1, but you see that at the end there from Edouard, that's just made me even happier. I delighted for Ange. I thought we showed enough. Look, you see him there hugging Luongo. He's obviously known him from the past.
Yep.
The two managers talking, but I'm absolutely delighted that he's got a win under his belt and some good performances. Players like Liam Shaw, Owen Moffat, Edouard as well. I'm trying to think of others. Did I say Liam Shaw?
Yep.
Well, I'm going to say him again, Liam Shaw, because it was like there was two Liam Shaws.
Is that your man of the match, Liam Shaw, for today?
I think so, yeah. I thought on his debut against his former team, I thought he was brilliant.
Well, there you go. Full time. And I think, to be honest, probably all the input we have to give as we come up to this 2-hour mark. Celtic go again on Saturday as we take on Charlton. Sadly, there will not be a watch along for that. And right at the end of the stream, thank you very much, Andrew Davidson, with the 79 pence donation. But sadly, there'll be no watch along for that. I'm going to Liverpool. I'm going to Liverpool tomorrow. I'm going on a wee holiday. Don't worry, the content will not completely die off because I'll be taking my laptop and camera with me in case anything breaks. And then who knows, maybe McGinley will be there to react live with me or whatever. The podcast and such will be back next week as well. But Celtic 3, Sheffield Wednesday 1. Goals scored by Albion Ayeti, Odsonne Edouard and Owen Moffat. The Ange Postecoglou revolution, Ryan, is well and truly underway.
Buzzing.
Thank you, everybody who's been watching. It has been an absolute pleasure to be joined in your company today. And me and Ryan will see you all next time.